Hey guys, welcome to a very impromptu video. It's going to be kind of like my Power Rangers video. When the first Power Rangers picture came out of like the official suits, I freaked out and I came home, I threw on my Power Rangers shirt, and I basically just looked at the picture and talked about it. Now I'm going to kind of do the same thing, but today I'm off so I can kind of do it a lot faster. Literally minutes ago, like maybe an hour ago, if that, San Diego Comic-Con is going on. So just what happened recently is that there was the first picture of the Justice League released, and I'm trying to be the first person to talk about it because I just so happen to be off today and I just saw this photo, so I'm going to look at it. I'm going to leave it on screen the entire time as I talk about it, kind of like the Power Rangers video. And I'm just going to talk about what I think about each of the characters, how it looks. Basically how it looks is badass. It's awesome. I love it. I can't wait to see the Justice League. But I'm going to kind of break it down like I did with the Power Rangers ones. Now, a lot of these characters we have seen before in previews or in sort of the Batman vs. Superman movie. We've obviously seen Wonder Woman, we've obviously seen Superman and Batman. We haven't really gotten a look at Flash in costume. We've gotten a bit of a hint towards Cyborg, and we've seen Aquaman in promo. But Batman vs. Superman. But other than that, we really haven't gotten to see a whole lot of them. So I'm just looking at my phone here. I'm going to look at each one, kind of analyze them. Even the ones we've seen before, I'm going to see if there's any real differences, and I'm going to talk about it. So let's do this. So I'm going to work right to left. Normally people work left to right, but because Flash is something we haven't seen yet, I'm leaving him towards the last. He's very far left, so I'm going to start with right and work my way left. So let's do Aquaman first. Aquaman looks pretty awesome. I mean, for a character that's been ridiculed in basically every version possible, Jason Momoa's version of Aquaman looks pretty badass. Although, like in Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice, he kind of got not necessarily a lame intro, but it was basically just a dude underwater with a spear. But it's going to be interesting to see how he plays into the dynamic of the Justice League, especially for, like I said, being a character who's been ridiculed so much. I hope they make him a really badass character, obviously with Jason Momoa. I think that's how it's going to go, because he's a big badass guy. So I think that's the direction they're going to take it. But I mean, he just looks super awesome. He's got, I don't know if it's technically a trident anymore. It's got like 5 points to it, but I'm going to call it a trident just because that's what I'm familiar with. But he looks pretty cool. He's got this whole suit of armor instead of like cut off sleeves or anything. Kind of like, I think he had like a cut off short sleeves, kind of like in the other promo stuff, because you could see his tattoos. But this looks like a full armor, like full on badass ocean god guy. Next up is Batman. I think it's kind of interesting because Batman, obviously I love this Batman. This is my favorite version of Batman ever. But the angle that they chose to do him at is very interesting, because if you look at it, it kind of looks like the same angle that Christian Bale had in like the Dark Knight series. It kind of is that full, just straight on shot. It looks like Batman's coming to kill you. Like he's just standing there all intimidating. He looks pretty pissed off. But it just reminds me of that Christian Bale just like one standing there type of moment. It looks very similar to that. But I love everything about this Batman suit, this Batman universe. I'm all for this Batman, and I can't wait to see more of it. Next up is Wonder Woman. She's right in the middle. It looks pretty awesome. It looks like they changed her sort of legs, pants, skirt-ish area. Instead of looking more like an armorish skirt, if I remember. I haven't seen Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice again lately. I just haven't gotten a chance to watch it. But it looks like they changed it a little bit. It looks more like clothy, like for her skirt. It looks very much more like the original sort of Wonder Woman costume. It doesn't look like they tried to change a whole lot. It looks like they kind of went back to the roots of Wonder Woman, which actually is pretty cool. Speaking of Wonder Woman, there's also the first poster of that came out for Comic-Con. I posted that on my Instagram. I think I may have posted on my Twitter. I'm not sure. But that looks pretty badass as well, so that looks definitely pretty interesting. On to Cyborg. We haven't really gotten to see Cyborg yet. I mean, we've seen him sort of in drawings. In Dawn of Justice, we got to see kind of his head in like the mother box as his dad was basically turning him into Cyborg. But we haven't gotten to see the full suit because it's going to be CGI. We haven't gotten to see it very much, so it's kind of interesting to see Cyborg now. Cyborg, let's see. He looks pretty awesome. My only it's not even a complaint, but it's more of a reminder, I guess, is that his sort of, because it's a side shot sort of, so he's like got his abs, I guess, for a robot, like ribs area kind of exposed. It kind of looks like the Destroyer-ish type of armor mixed with like a Transformer. The Destroyer from Thor, the first film, mixed with like a Transformer. It kind of looks like that, but I'm kind of interested to see how it plays on screen, if it'll look, because it's going to be CGI, but it'll be interesting to see if it looks more along the lines of Batman's like full-on armor suit when he fights Superman, or if it'll be something a little bit more, not necessarily cartoony, but animated, because it's going to be CGI. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out and how it's going to play with Cyborg. But he's got his little glowing eye, which is super cool. I'm kind of interested to see how Cyborg plays out in the whole dynamic of the Justice League, because he is not necessarily a minor character, but because recently he has been more and more in cartoons and total Justice League like world. It seems like he's been more of a presence, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, I think that Cyborg is one of the more interesting characters. He can do a lot of things, and he can bring a lot to the table, especially for the Justice League. So how he's going to fit into that dynamic should be pretty interesting. But he does look pretty awesome. On to Superman. It doesn't really look like they changed a whole lot. I mean, really, there's only so much you can do to the Superman suit. Looks exactly like Man of Steel. Looks exactly like Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. No differences really whatsoever. I'm sure like a costume designer or maybe even a cosplayer can point out every minor detail that's different in this photo, but to me it looks the same. I'm not that surprised by it, I guess. It's Superman. But spoiler alert, in case you didn't know, Superman did die in Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. So how he's going to go into this costume should be interesting, because a lot of speculation is that he'll have his hair grown out, that he'll have a black suit. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to introduce that and then move him back towards this suit when he sort of goes back to, I guess, the light and decides to be more of a hero again, or if he's going to have sort of just go straight back to that after he comes back to life. It's going to be interesting to see how Superman's dynamic may change, because once he died from being killed against Doomsday, in the comic books, when he comes back, he has this dark suit. He has this long hair. He has a beard sometimes. So it should be interesting to see that new Superman. That's the Superman I'm excited to see, because I want to see Superman sort of pushed to the edge, kind of like how Batman is on all the time. I want to see Superman push to that edge on trying to figure out who he really is, because they sort of tease that before, and they sort of play with that all the time, but he's always going to be that hero that does the right thing. So it's going to be interesting, I think, if they can play with that a little bit and push him to that edge a little bit further. I think they try to do that with Batman vs. Superman, but I think it can be done better. I think it can be done a little bit further. But it should be interesting how he gets back to this point, at least in my opinion. Now on to the man of the hour, the man whose t-shirt I'm currently wearing, The Flash, because I am a massive Flash fan. I love the Grant Gustin TV show on CW. I'm a huge fan. I've rewatched season 1 and 2 several times. I love the character. I think Grant Gustin does a great interpretation of Barry Allen. When Ezra Miller, excuse me if I can say his name right, was cast as the Flash, there was a big sort of, not necessarily uproar, but people were very confused, especially since the Flash on the TV show hadn't been out that long. So him becoming the Flash was kind of interesting, instead of Grant Gustin maybe doing a TV to movie sort of transition, because Grant Gustin's Flash had a big following. Now the Ezra Miller one in the Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, there is no suit. It's just Barry Allen in like a 7-Eleven. He sees something wrong. He does a flash, quick run over to stop a robber, and then he comes back, and that's about it. Lights flash, flicker, all that stuff. But we haven't seen him as the Flash yet. This is the first time we get to see him as the Flash. And let's take a look at this guy. Also, speaking about the Flash, before I talk about how he looks, in my other video, I did a Justice League sort of update video when they did a lot of announcements. That one, they said that the Flash's costume was made up of like 90-something pieces, or like 100-something pieces, which will look pretty interesting, sounded pretty interesting anyway. But I have to give it to him. This looks like an awesome version of the Flash suit. I really didn't expect it to be that cool. Like, I was gonna say it was gonna be probably kind of not necessarily lame, because I don't want to discredit the people that made all of this stuff, but I was concerned. But the way they did it with like this black sort of interior with the red mane, like, it looks really cool. The little belt that he has, you can't really see his helmet a whole lot, but he's definitely got the wingtip sort of thing. It looks like a lot more straight edge, not so much like on the Flash on TV, where it goes up a little bit more. But I think this is probably one of the coolest Flash suits I've ever seen. Like, it doesn't necessarily look robotic, because that was kind of a concern I was going to have if it was going to look a little bit more robotic, because if Barry Allen has to wear like a robot suit, it kind of takes away from the Flash. You know, he has these powers for a reason. It's how he does things. He runs fast. He doesn't need advancements of 1,000 technologies on him constantly. But the symbol looks super, super cool. I like how Grant Gustin's Flash I didn't really like in the first season, although it still looks cool even when I look back at it. The Flash symbol in the middle, this guy right here, it was all red on the interior instead of having the classic Flash white with the Thunderbolt. But this one, it does the Thunderbolt. Oops, my phone changed pictures. Hold on one second, sorry. Okay, so in this one, the bolt kind of just is there. It doesn't need a full symbol. The bolt is just there. He is the bolt, which I think kind of makes it its own thing, which looks really, really cool. And honestly, it makes me even more excited for the Flash movie. It makes me even more excited for the Justice League movie, because this was probably one of my most anticipated movies coming up soon, superhero movies at least. And this just adds to that hype. The Flash looks awesome. All of these guys look awesome. And like I said, I can't wait to see this movie. I'm going to nerdgasm everywhere when I see it, because I love all of these characters, especially Batman and Flash from this group. So I can't wait to see it. If you guys have seen this photo, or if you have any Justice League thoughts, be sure to leave that down for me in the comment section below. Like always, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos, and we'll see you in the next one. Hold it right there, because literally I just got done making this video that you're watching now, and I went on my phone as I'm about to edit this video, and there's a Comic-Con specially released trailer for the Justice League. It's not really a movie trailer, it's more like little clips. But this thing looks like the best movie possible. We get to see Aquaman, we get to see Wonder Woman, we get to see the Flash, we get to see Cyborg, and it looks super badass. Batman is awesome as always. There's a Barry Allen moment. Barry Allen is actually funny. Barry Allen looks like he could be an awesome Barry Allen. Ezra Miller looks like he's doing a great job as Barry Allen. Cyborg looks pretty cool. He only has really like a one-liner, and as Cyborg at least. We only really get to see him as like Victor Stone for like a minute, but well, like more like a second. But this was mainly a Batman, an Aquaman, and a Flash scene, trailer, whatever you want to call it. It looks so cool. I'm so excited for this movie. It's Zack Snyder's style, but it takes away that darkness. It makes it look like it's a fun movie, fun superheroes assembly movie. It looks like it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so awesome, so action-packed, funny. It looks like a badass time. Jason Momoa is big. He's badass. He doesn't give a bleep about most of what's happening, but Batman is going to try and recruit him anyway. Same with the Flash. The Flash is this funny kid. He has these quips. He says he needs friends. He says, you know, he's in even before Batman tells him, as he's as Bruce Wayne, when he throws a batarang at him, he moves out of the way, he grabs it. It looks so cool. I'm not going to do a review for this one. I'm going to wait for a first official trailer, but I wanted to tack this on at the end of this video. It looks so cool. I don't want to get in trouble with like copyright stuff, but I'm going to leave a link down in the description as to how you can watch this video. It's online. They've just released it like 20 minutes ago, if that. But it looks super cool, and I'm super excited about it. I hope you go and watch it. Just add it down in the comments. What do you think about it? I'm super excited for it, if you can't tell. So please check that out. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.